were we not going through it all?
I guess not.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the Hollister Band honors our country with the playing of our national anthem. Stay on your feet as the band plays your Hollister Tiger Fight song.
Yeah, I was like, do you want me to like click something else and then? USB audio codec.
I don't know if we'll have time. Is it just on the web TV or the radio? Oh, okay. It's just the web TV, not the radio.
Okay, so that's good. I'd hate to have had that much dead air.
When we come back, do you want to like keep talking about the games?
We've got a little time if you want to.
I was going to mention like Clever's first varsity game tonight. That Clever's first varsity game tonight. I was going to mention that.
Please stay in the stands at halftime as the Hollister Tiger Band will confirm the first three parts of their competitive show to the sky.
Oh no, you're good. And then, do you think I should move the little? You know how you can see the caution tape sign in front of us? Should I move that?
Welcome back to Monett versus Hollister here in Hollister, Missouri. There was one game that I forgot to mention. It is Clever's first varsity football game. First time they've had football in 92 years. It's a home game against Willow Springs. Do you know anything about Clever?
I don't, but what a thrill it must be for those young men to get to play. And you graduated from Clever and would love to have been part of that, wouldn't you?
Correct.
Yes. Looking back at the games in the conference, Lamar is at Springfield Catholic. Again, two programs that have been very strong. Nevada is at Rogersville. That's two programs that have been down recently, both trying to get back in the swing of things. And McDonald County is at Aurora. Again, two teams that had a rough year last year, but hoping to better themselves greatly this year. So, and one thing about these conference games, almost all of them are pretty evenly matched. The really good teams are playing the good teams, and the weaker teams are playing the weaker teams. So there should be some very even scores, possibly, from tonight's games in the Big 8 Conference.
A lot of good football games going on tonight. So tell me about some of Monett's key players tonight.
Well, if you're going to talk about Monett, you got to start with Ethan Umfleet, who has switched from a running back to quarterback after 3 years with Carter Brink at quarterback. Cubs had to do something different, and Ethan is an exceptional athlete. He started as a freshman playing both ways, which is extremely unusual. And so he's a junior this year, but it's his 3rd year. He's very experienced, and he's having to learn the quarterback position. So obviously, just like you in doing something different here, you know it's different when all of a sudden you're thrust into the main role. So we will see, but he is going to be the key. The Cubs are going to miss Brandon Majors. Brandon was just a bull last year at fullback, picking up tough yardage. But they have a young man this year, Salas, who's stepping in at fullback. He's their kicker, does an excellent job of kicking, and I think that he will probably, Alex Salas is his name. I think he may be able to fill in for Brandon. I saw him in their Jamboree game against Neosho, and the starters didn't play very much, but Alex looked good there. And they have a couple of new wingbacks. Let's see if I can find out here who they are. I misplaced my paper so our fans will know. We're sitting outside again. Seems like we always get the fresh air part of the announcing booth, and so we don't have a table in front of us, and we got the wind blowing our papers around. But at right wing is let's see. Right wing is Corbin McCulley. He's a 5'9" junior with some good speed. And at left wing, I think will be Hugo Avila, 5'8", 155-pound senior. So got some quick, speedy wingbacks. At receiver, number 10, Dylan Smith is the tight end. And wide receiver. And now all of a sudden I can't find him. Number 9, Dylan Smith, or Dylan Lynch. So Dylan Lynch will be the wide receiver. Dylan Smith, the tight end. So the Cubs have some skilled people, and the real strength of the Cubs has to be their line. Across their line, they have at right guard Harrison Merriman, at right tackle Parker Tickner, at left guard Ray Vialta, and at left tackle Joe Karasik. And those are experienced players, big, strong, quick, and the Cubs will go, if the skill position players can just perform adequately, that line will determine the success of the Cubs, because they are a very talented group, and most of those also play in the defensive line. So people who know football know that linemen are so important. They don't get the attention and the recognition that the skill players do, but they're absolutely essential for the success of a team. I might mention the center. I forgot to mention the center. Christian Selvey is part of that very good offensive line also.
Coin toss about to take place. Hollister in the blue tops, white bottoms, and Monett in the all-white gold letters.
I can see now I'm going to have trouble recognizing Monett's letters.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see for sure what that letter is?
I'm pretty sure it's 67.
They have gold letters. I bet that's it. on a white jersey, and there's very little contrast, and
Mhm.
it's hard to read. 67 is Ray Villalta, who's definitely one of the outstanding players. A difference this year, in other years they had 4 captains. This year, because of the coronavirus deal, there's only 1 captain from each team to limit the exposure, I guess. Some of the things that we do because of this virus kind of pique my imagination sometime as to why we do them. But this, for example, instead of 4 captains, we have only 1.
All in all, I'm just glad we have high school football.
Oh, I am too. I worried all summer long that it would be canceled, and at least we're going to get 1 game in
Yeah,
for sure.
least.
And I hope we get the season in. I just personally think that life needs to go on, that virus is certainly something to be respected and, try to avoid it, but not to the extent of shutting down our lives as we did for a while.
This coin toss was brought to you by the Clark Center of Monett, Missouri. And who won the coin toss, Leonard?
I was talking and didn't listen, but I'm pretty sure that Hollister probably won it and deferred. And Monett then is going to receive and defend the east goal. I'm talking and not paying attention, but I did see that Monett is receiving and Hollister's kicking. And usually, first game of the year, coaches like to defer and have the ball in the second half after the team is settled down and not so likely to make, quick mistakes. So I think if Monett had won, I think they would have deferred and Hollister would have taken the football.
The kickoff for season opener is soon approaching. We'll be right back after this quick timeout. I guess we didn't need to go into a commercial break.
What?
I guess we didn't need to go into a commercial break.
No, probably didn't.
I brought us right back.
Can you bring that?
Yeah. Oh.
I got it.
All right, welcome back from a quick commercial break. Kickoff's about to go underway. This kickoff is brought to you by, let me find it. Kickoff brought to you by Missouri Farm Bureau Lance, Metlack agent. I am from Missouri, and I am for the Monett Cubs and all farmers and families in Monett Cubs Nation. For more information, call 417-236-0422. And here we go. Hollister kicks it off. About a 35-yard ball. Brought down immediately. Receiver was...
I don't think you'll ever see that number. Number 5 for Hollister made the tackle. That is Tristan Parker. Hollister's numbers are easy to read, but Monett's are horrible to read, and their other jerseys are horrible to read. So I know fans get tired of me complaining about that, but that's a fact of life.
All right, 1 wide receiver out to the right side. Umfleet in the right under center. 1 back in the backfield. Handoff right down the middle. Gain of about 2 yards. Runner was...
Could be Alex Salas, I think.
Alex Salas.
Is that right? I believe so.
The Cubs with a 1-yard gain on the play. This brings up 2nd down and 9.
2nd down and 9. Umfleet under center again. Scanning the area. 2 wide receivers out to the right. Back in motion. Sweep out to the right side. A group of Hollister players for the tackle. Runner was
number 7, I believe.
Number 7, that is Arnold Cavazos with a pickup of 3 yards.
So the Cubs have 3rd and fairly long here, 3rd and about 7. They need to pick up a first here if they're trying to keep this momentum going. Or get some momentum going, I should say.
Yep. 3rd and 6 on the play. Umfleet under center, 1 back, 1 wide receiver. Handoff down the middle. Oh. It looked like there was a fumble on the play. Hollister recovered it. Number 30 for Hollister, that is Colby Gard, a senior, picked up the ball.
Number 21, Corbin McCulley was the ball carrier, and it was jarred loose and recovered by the Tigers. So this is going to put the Monett defense to a real test, with the Tigers taking over at the Cubs, call it the 30-yard line. It's just outside the 30, but closer to the 30 than the 31.
Leighton Morgan, the Hollister quarterback, in a shotgun formation with two backs in the front. Running out to the right, looking for someone open. He is sacked, but throws it out of bounds. No gain on the play. Number 24. Cole Davis for the tackle. That was nice defense right there.
I'm trying to, again, get the number of the young man who made that play for the Cubs. I believe
Cole Davis.
Cole Davis, yes, is what I was thinking, but it's hard to read the number. But it was Cole putting the pressure on that broke up that play.
In shotgun formation again, 2nd and 10. Hikes the ball, hands it off, sweep left. Is that a loss for a play? Looked like it was Cole Davis again.
Number 56, Harrison Merriman on the tackle for the Cubs. And you're right, there was a loss of 1 on the play. Going to bring up 3rd and 11 for the Tigers.
In shotgun formation yet again. 4 receivers, 1 back. Hikes the ball, drops back. Oh, flags on the play. Is there flags or just whistles?
No, there's flag. I saw a flag fly. Illegal procedure against the Tigers.
That's a loss of 5 yards. Yep.
Going to bring up 3rd and 16 for the Tigers. I have a defective program here with the Hollister numbers wiped out. I didn't realize that till now, so I can't read their numbers. It's got numbers on 2 sides of the play. I can read one side, but the other side I can't. So people are going to think I'm a total idiot when I can't come up with numbers.
Morgan with the snap, dropping back, throws to the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Cubs had good coverage, and there was really no one open. The quarterback was throwing and hoping, but his wishes didn't come true. The ball landed at least 5 yards from anybody, either receiver or defender. But again, the Cubs were in good position, had the deep ball covered well. It's going to bring up 4th down and 16 for the Tigers. We'll see. It looks like they probably will not punt the ball since they're so deep in the Cub territory.
Going for it. 1 back in the backfield. 4 wide receivers out, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation. Morgan gets it. Oh, another flag on the play.
I believe there's motion again. Illegal motion, a procedure against the Tigers again, so that's going to bring up 4th and 21 for the Tigers.
Good defensive possession by the Monett Cubs so far.
Now it looks like they may go into punt formation. Well, not necessarily. No, it's not a punt formation, but maybe the quarterback is awfully deep. He may punt it from there anyway. Yes, he is.
Good punt. It lands in the backfield.
Into the end zone for a touchback. So the Cubs defense did a great job of stopping the Tigers, and the Cubs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. I had a second program, and I don't know what happened to it. So I'm sitting here with a program with numbers that I can't read.
Hollister fans, give it up for your Hollister High School.
All right, Monett ball from the 20-yard line. Hopefully they'll have a bounce back from the last possession. Umfleet under center. One back in the backfield, one wide receiver out. Handoff to
I believe that's Alex Salas, I think.
good, solid run on the play. Looks like it was a gain of 5 or 6.
Yes, it was number 23, Alex Salas. A good gain on the play for the Cubs. Actually, a gain of 10, first and 10 for the
Wow.
Cubs.
Good run.
So the Cubs have picked up their first and 10 of the new season.
That first down is brought to you by
Cubs on the 30-yard line.
well, missed that one.
That was to Salas again, just to dive over the middle. Looks like he picked up a couple yards.
That last first down was brought to you by Crown and Power Equipment north of Monett on H Highway, Southwest Missouri's Case and IH dealer. Discover the power of red.
Alex picked up 3 yards on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Cubs from their own 33.
Cubs in huddle. Just broke, going to the line. Umfleet on center yet again. One back in the backfield. A little trick play that didn't really go anywhere.
Quarterback keeper that time and didn't fool anybody, and Ethan Umfleet had nowhere to go. In fact, there may be a loss of a yard on the play. It is. A loss of 1 is going to bring up 3rd and 8 for the Cubs.
Led by a whole swarm of Tigers.
Hollister defense snuffed that right there.
Hollister has a big defensive front.
Yes, they do.
Number 65, for example, weighs 230. 75 weighs 240.
Umfleet under center. Looks like quarterback keeper. Made a gain, but not enough for a first down.
Finally brought down by number 61, Danny Gimlin. But as you point out, not enough for a first. Is going to bring up 4th and about 3. So the Cubs will, since they're fairly deep in their own territory, will drop back in punt formation, and Ethan Umfleet is the punter.
Hollister doesn't have anyone back to receive yet. Oh, whistles blow. What's going on? Oh, it looks like a timeout by the Hollister Tigers.
They decided they weren't really ready to receive that punt, so they took a timeout.
We will be right back after this quick commercial break.
Hollister fans also give it up for Emma Sperling, Mahaley Lofton, Daniela Richardson, Kinsey Burns, Josie Smith, Bella Blackwood, and Lillian Olson. That rounds out your Hollister 2020-2021 cheer squad. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember that face coverings are required unless you can be socially distant. The baseball restrooms will be open as well as the concession restrooms. Back to receive the punt for your Hollister Tigers, number 20, Connor Hatfield.
Monett kicks it off. Solid kick by Umfleet. Lands at around the 40, rolls to the
25. Excellent punt, as it turned out, because it rolled about 15 yards after it hit the ground.
Hollister's taking the ball at the 24-yard line.
So 28 and 25, that's about a 53-yard punt, a very effective punt. Actually, they're spotting it at the 23 or 24-yard line. I thought it went out at the 25, but they're spotting it at the 24. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their own 24.
Score is still 0-0.
Cubs defense are looking into a very bright sun right now. With some help from other buddies, but substantial gain, good enough for the first and 10 of the night for the Tigers. 1st and 10 from their own 38.
Morgan coming to the huddle, discuss the play. Shotgun formation, three wide receivers out, two running backs in the backfield. Takes the ball, hands off to number 17. Blake Russell, gain of about 5 or 6 on the play.
Number 17, Blake Russell with the carry. 3-yard pickup, second down.
I stand corrected, a 3-yard pickup on the play by the run by Blake Russell.
4-yard pickup, second down.
Number 57, Daniel Parsons, in on the stop. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Morgan under center, hands off to the guard. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. Just ran right up the middle. Stopped by the Monett up front defense.
Harrison Merriman and Davin Madrid on the stop. But again, a good gain. Hollister is finding some consistency in their running game now. It's 3rd and a short 3 for the Tigers.
Three wide receivers out. 2 running backs in the backfield in shotgun formation. Morgan takes the ball, hands off right down the middle to Russell. And did he get the first down?
I believe he probably did.
They gave him the first down.
I think number 24, Cole Davis on the stop, but just enough for a first down for the Tigers, and they've picked up 2 in a row now. They have a drive going. They've moved the ball up to their own 47-yard line, and we have 2 minutes left in this first quarter.
Score still 0-0. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers out, 2 running backs in the backfield, hand off to Russell. Oh, that's a solid run. Pickup of 7 yards on the play.
Big gain there that time by Russell.
Just took a cut up on the right side and just found an opening.
Number 17, Blake Russell.
And Cole Davis on the stop again, but a gain of 7 on the play. 2nd and 3 for the Tigers.
Second down and 4.
All of a sudden, the Cubs defensive line is being driven back, and holes are being created for their running backs.
Shotgun formation yet again. 1 running back in the backfield, 3 wide receivers out. Hand off right down the middle to guard. He is stopped immediately by the defensive line.
A whole host, but Cole Davis was there, and also number 57, who is Daniel Parsons. A loss of 1 on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
Clock running down, about 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Morgan under center, 2 running backs in the backfield, hands off to, quarterback sneak. He's nowhere to go. He breaks a tackle. And keeps running and pushed out of bounds around the 25-yard line.
Finally knocked out by Ethan Umfleet. Quarterback made a great cut to avoid a Monett tackler at about midfield and then picked up some 20 yards after that. Big gain, and the Tigers are definitely threatening now as the first quarter is going to come. Well, no, it's out of bounds, so there'll be another play before the end of the quarter. But the Tigers have the ball now, 1st and 10 from the Cubs 29.
Tigers on the 29-yard line.
Shotgun formation, one running back in the back to the right-hand side of Morgan. Wide receiver in motion. Looks like a sweep to number 20. Number 20, Connor Hatfield.
Good defensive there by the Cubs to stop the ball carrier for a short gain. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score, Hollister 0, Monett 0.
This first quarter, tonight's game is brought to you by Cubs Cafe. A proud sponsor of Monett Cubs football is the Cubs Cafe, located at 202 Highway 37, where we always have our purple and gold on.
Your Hollister cheerleaders are coached by Sherry Holiday and Kristen Smith.
How long are like quarter breaks?
I'm not sure. I think 3 minutes, I
Okay.
believe. Either 3 or 1. I'm not sure which it is, but I think it's 3.
Okay.
Hollister would like to thank its Tiger Field sponsors, Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Turkey Creek Express, Track Materials, Tri-Lakes Dental Center, Schultz Surveying and Engineering, Fox Health, Tom Boyce Excavating, Branson Family Dentistry, Hollow Insurance, All Parts of America, and Clean Steam.
Welcome back to Monett versus Hollister. We're at to start the second quarter. Score is still Monett 0, Hollister 0. The Talon Sports Network covers 3 area high school football teams each and every Friday night. The Monett Cubs are right here on 95.9 FM. The Cassville Wildcats can be heard on 97.7 FM. And the Aurora Hound Dogs are on AM 940. Be sure to catch the Big 8 Conference football on TSN each and every week of the 2020 season. Hollister's coming out from the timeout at the end of the quarter on a solid gain. 2nd and 7 from the 26-yard line. They are marching right now. Morgan shotgun formation, one running back in the backfield. Takes the ball, handoff right down the middle to guard. Gain of about 3 yards on the play.
Devin Madrid on the stop for the Cubs. Brings up 3rd and a long 4 or a short 5, however you want to look at it. It's about 5.5 yards that they've gained and about 4.5 to go. Cubs need to hold them right here.
It's a big stop.
3rd down and 4 coming up.
Shotgun formation yet again. Running back to the right-hand side of the quarterback, Morgan. 3 wide receivers out. Takes the ball, handoff to guard again. He is stopped right away. Looks like it was a gain of maybe 2 yards.
Harrison Merriman made the first contact. He got a little bit of help, but he's the one who made the first contact there. It's a gain of 2, 4th and 3 for the Tigers.
And what are they doing here?
I don't know. Looks like they're going to call timeout. Yes.
Timeout taken by Hollister. That is their second timeout used in this half. They have 1 remaining. opposed to Monett's 3 timeouts remaining.
In Missouri, good sportsmanship is a high school tradition.
This game is sponsored in part by Quick Draw Gun, featuring Quick Draw Laser, custom laser engraving and marking right here in Monett. Call 417-354-8633 for more information.
Are vital in the development of good citizens. Hollister High School gladly welcomes the challenge of being a leader in sportsmanship and continuing a proud tradition.
The score of any contest is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and fans may leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how you will be remembered. Be sure to choose good sportsmanship. The message brought to you by Access Family Care, providing high-quality medical and general dentistry care throughout Southwest Missouri. Both teams coming out after that timeout from Hollister. Looks like they are going to go for it.
Yes.
On this 4th and 3.
So far, it's looked like the first game of the season.
Mhm.
The play has not been the smoothest for either team. But right now, Hollister has the advantage.
This is a big play right here. Shotgun formation, two running backs in the backfield. Drop back to pass. Going deep to the end zone.
Maybe 6. No.
Incomplete. Great defense.
It looked like it was going to be a touchdown to number 30, but number 9 for the Cubs, Dylan Lynch, got back in time just barely to get there just as the ball did and batted it away. And the Cubs have stalled the Tigers' drive and taken over 1st and 10 from their own 22. If that ball had not hung in the air so long, it would have been 6. The Tiger receiver was behind the Monett defense, but the ball had a lot of air under it, and that allowed Dylan Lynch to get there to where he almost intercepted it, but he was managed to break it up.
Umfleet under center, 2 backs in the backfield. There is the offsides.
That's going to be against the Cubs. Illegal movement, motion.
That's offside penalty on the Monett Cubs.
False start on the Cubs.
1st and 15 from the,
Penalty.
looks like the 18-yard line.
Down to 15.
Go Tigers, shut them down.
Umfleet under center. 1 back in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Takes the ball, handoff right down the middle. Solid run. Gain of about 6 yards on the play.
That is number 6, Drew Gwynn, in at fullback now.
Number 6 with the carry. Gain of 6 yards on the play. That brings up 2nd down and 9.
2nd and 9 on the play. Ball on the 23-yard line of Monett. Umfleet under center, 1 back in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Handoff up the middle. Solid gain.
I believe that's Drew Gwynn again. Yes, it is.
Did he get enough for the 1st down?
No, not quite. He did stretch the ball out trying to get it there, but he didn't, and he came up hobbling a little bit.
He's limping a little bit.
Made by number 10, Cody Johnson.
Looks like it's one of his ankles, it looks like.
It's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Cubs.
Ball on the 30-yard line.
Drew's trying to stay in, but he's hobbling so bad he can hardly get back to his position. So the official is taking an official timeout, and Drew's going to limp off the field.
Looks like it's his left leg. But
This is Stuart Weltus coming in to replace him. Stewart is a 220-pound sophomore with a lot of potential.
good sign that Gwynn was able to walk off on his own. 3rd and 2 on the play, ball on the 30.
3rd down and short coming up.
Umfleet under center. 1 back in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out. Quarterback keep, he gets enough for the 1st down and more. keeps going, got to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 10 on the play.
Finally brought down by number 22 for the Tigers, but a good run by Ethan Umfleet. The first time he's really had a chance to do much in gaining yardage, and a big pickup there. 1st and 10 for the Cubs now with the ball out at their own 40-yard line. Ethan just ran a quarterback sneak trying to pick up about 3 yards and found that he could just keep going, and he turned it into a substantial gain.
Umfleet under center, one back in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out. Takes the ball, sheds a tackle, and looks like a gain of about, he fumbled the ball and it is recovered by Hollister.
Ethan did a great job of avoiding the first tackle, picked up some yardage, but then got hit from a couple different directions and the ball came out and it goes over to the Tigers. That's the 2nd turnover for the Cubs tonight, the 2nd fumble that they've lost. So, you know, 1st game of the year, you expect that kind of things. But if the Cubs are going to win this football game, they're going to have to clean up that kind of play.
Shotgun formation, 2 backs at each hand of the quarterback. Hand off to number 10, Cody Johnson. It was a sweep out, but it looked like a gain of 1, if anything.
I'm not sure who made that tackle, but I think it was number 27, Matthew Ball. It was an excellent defensive play because it looked like the ball carrier had some room to go, but a good tackle stopped him at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
2nd and 10 on the play. Score still remains 0-0. Ball on the 49-yard line of Monett. Shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers out. Low snap, drops back to pass. It looks like it was, looks like pass interference on the play by number 9, Dylan Lynch.
I think that was a valid call. Dylan was on the receiver's back before the ball got there. Dylan had him covered well, covered too well. 15-yard penalty stepped off against the Cubs. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the Cubs' 34-yard line. You know what we need? We need an interception return for a touchdown to get this offense going a little bit.
Get the momentum going.
Yes, and to stop their offense.
Morgan, shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers out. Drops back to pass. He's going to the end zone.
Maybe.
No. Overthrew him by about 5 yards. Xavier Stovall was the intended receiver.
He had a receiver slightly behind, but there was pretty good coverage there by.
Goes from a 3rd and 2 to a 3rd and 7. 3rd and 10.
It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it worked out to be about an 8-yard penalty total. High snap, and the kick is blocked.
That extra point attempt was brought to you by Monett Glass and Mirror. If your sliding door looks like it's been hit by a middle linebacker or your car windshield was cracked by an errant kit, call Monett Glass and Mirror. Or if it shatters, it matters. 5:18 remaining in the 2nd quarter of this game. Scores Monett 6, Hollister 0. We owe you a station identification. You're listening to the Monett Cubs on KKBL 95.9 FM from Monett, Missouri. And we'll be right back after this quick timeout.
Are open. That is on the east side of the field. The concession stand restrooms are open as well.
Penalty was crazy. I don't know how you have 2 blocks in the back.
Mhm.
on
I
a
know.
play that they
The seniors 2020-21 class, as they are selling 50-50 raffle tickets. The raffle will be announced at the beginning, before the beginning of the third quarter.
Welcome back from Hollister, Missouri. The score is Monett 6, Hollister 0. Ethan Lynch just had an interception that brought back about 75 yards for the Monett touchdown, but the extra point was blocked by the Hollister Tigers.
Dylan Lynch. I think you said Ethan, and that's the kind of thing that I do.
Monett set up for the kickoff. This kickoff is brought to you by Missouri Farm and Bureau Lance Metlock agent. I'm here for Missouri, and I am for the Monett Cubs and all farmers and families in the Monett Cubs Nation. For more information, call 417-236-0422.
Ethan Umfleet is getting ready to kick off again, so that again tells me that there's a problem with Alex Salas, because Alex would normally do the kickoffs for sure.
Umfleet getting ready to kick it off to the Hollister Tigers. Ball on the 40-yard line. He's off. Short kick lands around the 30-yard line.
Oh.
He is brought down hard. Is the ball loose?
The ball was loose, but I don't know who covered it.
Monett thinks they have it. Monett recovered the kickoff.
It was a short kick to the right, and the Cubs, just what they hoped would happen, happened. The ball bounced. The Hollister receiver came up to catch it on the bounce, and he got hit just as he was trying to catch it. And the ball was on the ground, and we don't know who, but the Cubs came up with it. So it's the Cubs' ball. Big break for the Cubs. 1st and 10 from the Hollister 32.
First quarter looked like everything was going Hollister. Now it's all Monett.
I told you we needed an interception for a touchdown, didn't I?
Umfleet under center, one back in the backfield. 3 wide receivers out. Handoff middle. Oh, fake pass. Oh. Incomplete pass. Intended receiver was Drew Gwynn.
Now, I believe it's Dylan Lynch. You can't see the numbers that far away, but Dylan usually plays out there. It was a fly pattern, just hoping that Dylan would get behind the receiver, but the receiver had good position, and it really didn't have much chance of being completed. It was excellent defense by the Hollister defender there.
Umfleet under center, 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out. Takes the ball from center, quick handoff to...
I believe that's, what was it, 5 or 6? I believe it's number 5. Number 5 is Stuart Weltis, I believe, in there at fullback. Or is it number 6?
That's 6.
It's Drew Gwynn back in then.
Back.
5 and 6 look a lot alike from this distance. But you're right, it was Drew Gwynn. And he limped off earlier, so he must have just had a cramp or something. It's good to see him back.
3rd and 6 on the play. Ball on the 28-yard line of Hollister. This is a big play right here. Umfleet under center, 1 back in the backfield, 3 wide receivers out. He takes the ball. Umfleet calls a timeout.
They were hoping that Hollister would jump, but Hollister did not jump. They went on a long count, and so They
Monett,
didn't. Yeah, they didn't jump, so Monett decided to call a timeout and talk it over.
Monett uses its first time out of the half. Scores Monett 6, Hollister 0. We will be right back after this quick timeout.
There are drink areas at both restroom places. There's the baseball restrooms at the east end of the field, and then there is the concession stand restroom. There's both drink areas set up at both stations. Hollister Schools would like to remind you that face coverings are required unless you can practice social distancing.
Welcome back to Hollister. Right after that Monett timeout. It's 3rd and 6 on the play, ball on the 28-yard line. Umfleet under center, 2 backs in the backfield.
Ball on 28-yard line, 3rd and long.
Umfleet takes the ball, hands off to Sig. Oh, fake handoff. And he looks like he got the first down, and more. Way to stay in bounds. What was that, a gain of about 8 or 9 on the play?
Right, and a definite 1st and 10 for the Cubs. Umfleet looks like he might be tackled at about the line to gain, but he got away from that tackle and picked up 5 or 6 more. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cubs now with the ball at their the Hollister 17-yard line.
This visit to the red zone is brought to you by J&M Pallet Company with the motto, "In God We Trust." Remember, praise God whether you win or lose, and give him the victory. Call Jeff for all your pallet needs at 417-847-6732. Umfleet under center, 1 back in the backfield. Sweep off to the left side, still on his feet, solid run. That was number, is that 21?
21, I believe.
And it's Corbin McCauley on the carry.
Yes.
Tackle made by number 2, Isaac Qualls.
Good gain on the play of 8 yards, 8+ yards. 2nd and a short 2 for the Cubs.
Tackle was made by Isaac Qualls of the Hollister Tigers.
3:30 left in this first half, so the Cubs need to run off a couple minutes more here before they score. But we'll take the score anytime we can get it.
QB sneak up
And
the middle.
we just got it, I think.
Oh. Or is he just short?
Umfleet kept the ball, and it looked like he was in, but I think he was down at about the 1-foot line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Cubs from about the 1-foot line. From here, it looks like it's touching the goal line, but obviously it's not quite. But I'm predicting a quarterback sneak here.
And you were right.
Surprise, surprise. A quarterback sneak for a touchdown. No sense handing off when you're that close to a touchdown.
That touchdown was brought to you by the law offices of Randall, Mastery, and Randall. If you need an extra point or two from a trusted lawyer, call Randall, Mastery, and Randall at 235-8688, serving the Lawrence, Berry, and Stone County regions. Score is now 12-0, Monett on top, after the quarterback sneak from the 1-yard line by Umfleet. And looks like they are going for 2 on this.
Right.
1 wide receiver out, 2 wide receivers out. Pass out, and it is incomplete. Umfleet's intended receiver was...
I'm not sure who that was, but I think it's Dylan Lynch again. It looks like him. He usually plays that split out on that side. Well, we just simply can't read the numbers this far away because there's no contrast. I know people get tired of me griping about that, but my lands, it makes it impossible for us. When they're close to you on this side of the field, we can kind of read the numbers, but when they're over there, but anyway, I'm pretty sure that was Dylan Lynch. And so the point after is no good, but the Cubs do have a 12-0 lead.
Quick change of events that led to that touchdown. A A muffed kick from the Hollister Tigers with the Monett Cubs recovered, and then a solid run game that led up to the quarterback sneak for the touchdown.
The Cubs did do a good job of running the ball there that last 33 or so yards, something like that, after they had recovered that kick. It wasn't really an onside kick, but it was a kick designed to have happen just what happened, for them to not catch it in the air and let it bounce. Anytime a football bounces, you never know what's going to happen. That's why it's so important for the kickoff team to catch the ball in the air.
This kickoff is brought to you by the Missouri Farm Bureau Lance Metlock, agent. I am for Missouri, and I am for the Monett Cubs and all farmers and families in Monett Cubs Nation. Call 417-236-0422 for more information.
2:56 left in the half.
Umfleet with a good kick, caught around the 15-yard line by the Hollister Tigers. That was Russell with the catch, and he is brought down around the 25-yard line.
Number 17, Blake Russell with the kick return.
Hollister looking to bounce back after their last offensive trip, which led to the pick six.
Good coverage that time by the Cub kickoff unit. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
The intended receiver was Blake Russell.
Intended receiver number 17, Blake Russell.
Cubs had good defense on the deep receivers. The quarterback tried to throw it to a halfback coming underneath the coverage and just led him a little bit too far. Brings up 4th down, and with 4th and 14, the Tigers have dropped back into punt formation, and I assume the Cubs have called timeout. If they haven't, they should have. But this clock is stopped, so. Oh, it was an incomplete pass. They didn't have to call timeout.
Short kick. Ball stopped at about the 34-yard line, and Monett Cubs will pick up from there. 18 seconds left on the clock. Scored Monett 12, Hollister 0.
Cubs have time to throw maybe 2 passes or just a running play, hoping that it might break for a long gain, but they'll be satisfied to go into halftime with a 12-point lead, I think.
Their last offensive trip ended with a touchdown led by Ethan Umfleet. He had a quarterback sneak from the 1-foot line that led to the touchdown. Two wide receivers out. Umfleet under center, one back in the backfield. Quick pass.
Hitch and pick. Hit, pitch, and hit. Whatever. It's called a hitch and pitch. Gain 10 yards, but it's designed to go for a touchdown. But they throw it to one receiver. He pitches back to another back coming outside of him, and it gained 10 yards, but didn't get the touchdown that the Cubs wanted. But now there's 12 seconds left, and that they're on 45-yard line.
Timeout called by the Monett Cubs. That is their second timeout of the half, with one remaining, with 12 seconds left. We'll be back right after this quick commercial break.
I've seen. Oh boy.
Hollister fans, please stay in the stands.
I've seen teams beaten on that
Oh shoot, where's my phone? There it is, okay.
I was checking out the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good sized crowd here, and they're spread out a lot. They brought a bunch of lawn chairs and stuff down there.
Are you ready to come back?
I'm ready anytime.
Tonight's winner was Skylar Brook.
Welcome to the halftime show here from Hollister, Missouri. Leonard, what can you tell me about the first half from both squads tonight?
Well, on the kickoff, the Cubs kicked the ball to the right sideline, about a 20-yard high pop fly top type kick designed to prevent any kind of run back and maybe to have what happened happen. The ball hit the ground over there by the sideline. A Hollister player came up to field it on the hop, and the Cubs by that time had gotten down the field, and just as he was fielding the ball on the bounce, a couple Cub defenders got there and flattened him and knocked the ball loose. There was a scramble, and the Cubs came up with it. So the Cubs came up with the ball at about the 33-yard line or 35 of Hollister, and from there mounted a ground attack featuring Ethan Umfleet. Ethan made a good fourth quarter run to pick up a first down, and another good run up the middle that got the ball down to the 1 foot line, and then he sneaked it in. So Ethan Umfleet scored on a 1-yard quarterback sneak. This time, since they had missed the 1-point conversion on the first try, they decided to go for 2, and a pass attempt out into the right flat, right part of the end zone intended for Dylan Lynch was incomplete. So that left the score Monett 12, Hollister 0. And after the kickoff, Hollister did manage to pick up a 1st and 10, but then ran out of downs. Had to punt the ball away, actually. The Cubs got 1 1st and 10 before the half ran out. So a lot of mistakes by the Cubs, a lot of first game jitters possibly, but in spite of it all, the Cubs have come out with a 12-point lead at halftime, and that's always something to be appreciated.
Hollister has 3 turnovers on the half, well, compared to Monett's 2. But Hollister also has 5 first downs compared to Monett's 2. And Umfleet is 1 for 2 on passing for about 17 yards, while Morgan for Hollister is about 2 for 6 with 1 interception for about 30 yards through the air. We will be back after this quick commercial break. Thank you for listening.
And Nevada 8, Rogersville 6 after the first quarter. So those are all first quarter scores. Nevada 8, Nevada 8, Rogersville 6.
You ready? Welcome back to the halftime show here in Hollister, Missouri. We're going to give you some quick updates on the other games going around. McDonald County and Aurora are facing off tonight. McDonald County's up 14-0 going into the second quarter. Webb City and Joplin are playing tonight. Webb City's up 13-7 going into the second quarter as well. And Nevada and Logan Rogersville are playing going into the second quarter as well. Nevada is up 8-6 on the Wildcats.
Visual staff, Katie Williams and Janice McHenry. Brass instructor, Stephanie
The
Barnes.
Talon Sports Network covers 3 area high school football teams each and every Friday night. The Monett Cubs are right here on 95.9 FM. The Cassville Wildcats can be heard on 97.7 FM. And the Aurora Hound Dogs are on AM 940. Be sure to catch the Big 8 Conference on football on TSN each and every week of the 2020 football season. This game is brought to you by Quick Draw Gun. With hundreds of new and used firearms in stock, Quick Draw Gun is just off Highway 60 in Monett at 601 South Kyler Road.
Well, Corbin, we talked about the fact that Hollister had all these experienced players, had 20 starters back, and the Cubs had some very inexperienced players, and I worried about that, but the Cubs defense is, and Hollister has a pretty potent offense from last year at least they did, and they have those people back. So this young Cub defense, they have bended, but they haven't broken. They've given up some 1st and 10s to the Tigers, but they've kept them out of the end zone, and so I'm very pleased so far with what this young Cubs team has done. Beautiful night here in Hollister with the moon shining over the southeast corner of the field, and the Ozark Mountains or hills in the background is a very impressive setting.
It is.
And looking at the crowd earlier, I'm surprised at the lack of crowd for Monett. And I'm sure this coronavirus situation has a lot to do with it. But I thought the Monett fans were just so crazy for football that they would flock here in great numbers. And there's a, smattering. There's a small number of Monett fans on the other side, but not as many as I had expected. Hollister has a good crowd, and Hollister has a lot of people sitting in lawn chairs along the track that is helping with the social distancing that way. And the stands are pretty full with, people intentionally scattering out some to make a safe space around them. And they have us fenced in here at the back of this side of the bleachers so that we are socially distant. We don't have to wear our masks. It's hot out here. It's hot enough without a mask.
The score of any contest is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and the fans may leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how you will be remembered. Be sure to choose good sportsmanship. This message is brought to you by Access Family Care, providing high-quality medical and general dentistry care throughout southwest Missouri. And we will be back with you from the second half kickoff right after this quick commercial break.
Is Salas hurt?
Yeah, he pulled a hammy.
So he's out for the game. I figured that when I saw Ethan was kicking and everything.
Yeah, he pulled it a little bit.
Welcome back to the halftime show. About 3 minutes left until the kickoff. And what do the Hollister Tigers need to do to come back from this 12-0 deficit?
Well, I think they're going to have to throw the football to score on the Cubs. The Cubs, they've had some success on the ground, but I don't believe, unless if they can get good field position, like inside the Cub half of the field, they might be able to ground it out. But I just feel like the Cubs are more susceptible to being beaten, by a long pass than they are by a run. I was telling you in the game last year that the Cubs played, Hollister scored twice, both on very long plays. One was an 85-yard run from scrimmage where the ball carrier broke through the line and just turned on the speed and outran the Cubs defense. And the other was an 88-yard kickoff return. So they have not shown the ability to sustain a drive against the Cubs either last year or so far this year. And I think, Cubs make it hard to throw because they usually get good pressure on the quarterback and don't give him a lot of time. So for the Cubs, I think it's important to maintain that good pass defense because I think Hollister will throw the ball quite a bit this half in order to try to come back. And I think that's the best chance they have for success. But we'll see how it goes.
And give us an update on Salas for the Cubs.
I asked one of the Cub coaches going up to the press box about him, and he said he'd pulled a hamstring, so that means he's out for this game, hopefully. I hope not for, subsequent games too. But he's definitely out for this game, and he's very important. He's a defensive end on defense. He's football back on offense, and he's a kickoff person. So it's like losing 3 people almost when you lose him. And that makes it even more, puts more on Ethan Umfleet because Ethan's not only the punter, he's the kicker, he's the quarterback,
He's the
safety on defense. So Ethan's going to be tired when this game is over.
30 seconds left till the kickoff for the third quarter. Tonight's third quarter is brought to you by Arvis Bank. Arvis Bank is committed to Monett and is here to support the community. Local decisions, local commitment, Arvis Bank. Member of FDIC.
It hasn't cooled off a whole lot here, has it?
No, the sun's just gone down.
The sun went down, but it's still very muggy here and quite warm. Those players have to be really feeling the heat.
Hollister won the kickoff at the beginning of the game, and they chose to defer, so they are now receiving the kickoff from the Monett Cubs. Hollister already in 7, 2-3-6-0-4-22. First and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Hollister Tigers. Morgan in the shotgun formation. One back in the backfield, hands off, fakes right, it goes left, and it's brought down immediately. Runner was number 10, Cody Johnson, a 6-foot senior.
Cole Davis and Daniel Villalta on the stop. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Hollister going up to the ball. Shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out to the left side. Takes the ball, drops back to pass, looking to the pass, and it is intercepted. It was tipped by one Monett Cubs defender.
It was almost intercepted first, and then he tipped it up in the air, and it was intercepted by Cub defender.
I think it was Cole Davis that had the initial tip on the play, but I could not see who caught the interception.
I couldn't see for sure either. Is there a flag?
There is a flag on the play. And it looks like Hollister thinks it's on them because their offensive line is going out off to the sideline.
Holding against the Tigers is the call, so the interception counts, and the Cubs have taken over with another turnover in good field position. The ball is going to be spotted at the Hollister 42-yard line.
Good field position. That was a good heads-up play by the Monett Cubs defense.
It was. The first defender probably should have had it, but couldn't quite get his hands on it, but kept it in the air long enough for the second defender to pick it off the ground. I thought maybe they'd call it a trap, but they called it an interception. A great catch.
Umfleet under center, 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out. Takes the ball, hand up the middle to Drew Gwynn.
Flag on the play, yes, on this sideline. I'm guessing that will be against the Cubs, but we'll wait and see.
Referee's discussing the play, calling the play. It looks like it is on Monett.
False start against the Cubs, 5 yards. That'll make it 1st and 15 from the about 47-yard line.
That is their first penalty of the half, 3rd of the night. 1st and 15 from the 47-yard line.
You're right, the Cubs have played relatively penalty-free ball so far, which is good. Sometimes in the first game of the year you have, a dozen penalties on both teams, but it hasn't been that bad so far.
2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out. Umfleet under center, takes ball, handoff. It looks like quarterback keeper. Spin move. It looks like a gain of about 7 or 8 on the play. That was a quarterback keeper from Umfleet.
He does a great job of spinning when he's about to be tackled. He should have gained 2, and as it turned out, he gained about 7 on the play.
Isaac Qualls with the tackle for the Hollister Tigers. Second and 8 on the play, ball on the 40-yard line. 2 wide receivers out, one back in the backfield, Umfleet under center. Takes the ball, handoff middle. He's marching. He fights for it. Did he get the first down?
Don't believe he quite did, but it was a tough run. Is that Drew Gwynn again, I believe?
Yes. It was a valiant effort to get the first down. 3rd and short.
2 yards short, 3rd and 2 for the Cubs.
Ball on the 34-yard line. He had to fight for all those yards that he just ran for. One back, 2 wide receivers out. Umfleet under center, quarterback sneak, and he brought down right as the play happened.
He's got the first.
He got the first down.
Yes. A gain of about 4 on the play. 1st and 10 for the Cubs.
That first down is brought to you by Crown and Power Equipment, north of Monett on H Highway. Meet the factory-trained pros of Crown Power. Score of tonight's game is Monett 12, Hollister 0, with about 9 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter of tonight's battle. Umfleet under center, 1 back. In the backfield, 2 wide receivers out. Umfleet takes the ball, drops back to pass. Slant route, intercepted by Hollister.
That was an excellent pass by Umfleet. It should have been caught. It went through the receiver's hands, and the Hollister defender did a great job of picking it off. But that should have been a completion for the Cubs. The pass was on the money. The receiver just let it go through his hands, and I'm not sure of the numbers, so I won't tell you who it was. But the ball goes over to the Tigers.
Tyler Gable was the one that had the interception on the play for the Hollister Tigers.
So a break for the Tigers. Let's see if they can turn that into some momentum on offense now after the Cubs had intercepted a Tiger pass to set the Cubs up in good field position. The Tigers get the ball back, but the ball is at their own 25, so they've got a long way to go to score.
Morgan shotgun formation, 2 running backs in the back, hand off the guard, makes a quick jab step, but he's stuffed right about the line of scrimmage. That was Corbin McCauley was part of the tackle on that for the Monett Cubs.
Number 17 for the Cubs, Tanner Wright, in on the stop too. Good play by the Cubs defense, holding them to 1 yard, basically. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers.
Ball on the 26-yard line. Shotgun formation yet again. 2 running backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out. Oh,
I believe the Tigers are going to call timeout.
Tigers using their first timeout
Yes.
of the second half. And we will be back with you after this quick commercial break.
We also would like to give a special thanks to our retired field sponsors. Plains Team, Ballparks of America, Connell Insurance, Branson Family Dentistry, Tom Boyce Excavating, Cox Health, Schultz Surveying and Engineering, Tri-Lakes Dental Center, Track Materials, Turkey Creek Express, and Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Hollister Schools would also like to remind you that face coverings are required unless you can practice social distancing. Due to social distance requirements, no fans will be allowed on the field after.
Welcome back to Hollister. The score is Monett 12, Hollister 0. 2nd and 9 on the play for the Hollister Tigers. Ball on the 26-yard line. Morgan in the backfield with 1 running back to his right hand. Drops back to pass. Pass caught. Good block by Hollister receiver. Picked up first yard. Receiver was Tristan Parker.
A good tackle there by Corbin McCulley. If he hadn't made it, it would have been 6. Good play by the Tigers. The receiver picked up a block after he caught it and broke to the outside, but Corbin McCulley made the stop. And so it's just a 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 39-yard line.
That is their 6th first down of the game. Shotgun formation, handoff to guard. He is stuffed immediately. Going to be a gain of 1, if anything. He was pushed back to the line of scrimmage.
Cole Davis made the first contact, and then he got help from inside lineman, but he made the first contact on that stop. A gain of, call it 3, 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. Davis looks a little bit gimpy after that play. He's stomping the ground. I think he may have twisted a leg a little bit, but he's staying in the game. So
Dual backs in the backfield. Shotgun formation for Morgan. 3 wide receivers out. Takes ball, handoff to Blake Russell, and he has a solid run. About a gain of about 20 yards on the play.
big gainer for the Tigers. Number 5, Stuart Weltis, finally made the stop, but not until a big gain by Hollister, and that got a little bit scary. It looked like that ball carrier might break into the open. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the Cubs' 42-yard line.
3 wide receivers out, 2 running backs in the backfield. Shotgun formation for Morgan. Takes the ball, hands off the quarterback keeper again. Keeping it, and he slides in for a gain of about 6 yards on the play.
Number 6, Layton Morgan with the quarterback rollout.
Diego Biden and Harrison Merriman was there but to make the tackle, but the quarterback, acting like he was a pro quarterback, slid down to avoid the contact. But a gain of about 6 on the play, or 7. 2nd and a long 3, we'll call it, for the Tigers.
Shotgun formation again, 1 running back in the backfield, 4 wide receivers out. Sweep pass to Russell. He picked up first down. He was hit hard, but he is all right.
Good hard hit by Ethan Umfleet, but not until the first down was gained by the Tiger running back. So all of a sudden, the Hollister running game is clicking, and they've moved the ball now to just inside the Cubs' 31-yard line.
3 wide receivers out. 1 running back in the backfield. Morgan in the shotgun formation. Hands off to Russell again, and he is stopped about immediately. Looks like he lost a 1 yard on the play.
I think they'll probably put it back at the line of scrimmage, but good tough job by the defensive line of the Cubs, led by 57 Ray Vialta, or 67 Ray Vialta. But no gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
From the 30-yard line. Score is Monett 12, Hollister 0, with about 5:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter of action. Drops back to pass. Is looking for intended receiver, and he is caught. Receiver was Tristan Parker. Hollister is now in the red zone, about at the 17-yard line.
Excellent throw, excellent catch, excellent execution. Dylan Lynch was there on the defense, but the pass was thrown where he could not get to it, and the receiver caught it and as he was stepping out of bounds, just before stepping out of bounds. So a very fine play by the Tigers, and now they move the ball inside the Cub 20 to the Cub 19-yard line.
Dual running back formation to each hand side. Shotgun formation, handoff to guard, and he is stopped, but not enough to get a first down. What am I saying? Pick up about 3 on the play.
And they've got a long way to go for a first down. He did pick up a little bit. Looks like picking up about 1. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers.
He was initially grabbed in the backfield, but he fought his way back.
Tanner Wright did a good job of turning it in and not letting him get outside, and then the other guys made the tackle, but Tanner did a good job of containing it at least.
Shotgun formation for Morgan. Takes the ball, drops back to pass. He's looking, he throws, and it is incomplete. Intended receiver was number 5, Tristan Parker.
Basically, the quarterback was avoiding a sack. That ball was at least 3 or 4 yards out of bounds. No chance for a reception. And Dylan Lynch had good coverage there. He had no chance to catch it either. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
From the 18-yard line. 4:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Single back formation in the backfield, shotgun formation. Takes back the pass. He's caught, and that is a Hollister touchdown. Blake Russell, the receiver, about an 18-yard touchdown for the Hollister Tigers.
Nice execution by the Tigers, poor tackling by the Cubs. The Cub defender was there and should have made the tackle, but didn't. So the Tigers are on the board. An 18-yard touchdown pass. Who was the receiver?
Blake Russell.
And who from
Leighton Morgan was the quarterback.
Okay, Morgan to Russell.
Hollister's attempting an extra point attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Score Monett 12, Hollister 7. That was a solid drive by the Hollister Tigers right there.
Mm-hmm. A very impressive drive.
Running game was on, passing game was very impressive. Hollister is now on the board with 7 points. But Monett still clings on to a 5-point lead. We owe you a station identification. You are now listening to the Monett Cubs on KKBL 95.9 FM from Monett, Missouri. What impressed you the most on that drive?
Well, it was just a very effective drive. They ran the ball well. They threw the ball well. The passing was sharp. That's really what impressed me the most. Uh, and as I said, that should have been a completion, but it should not have been a touchdown. Cub defender just didn't make the tackle. Hollister's gone to a quick passing game instead of trying to throw the home run. They're throwing it quickly before the Cubs defense can get to them, so their quarterback is not being rushed so much. He's getting it off before the rush can get there, and he's an accurate passer. He can throw the football.
He prefers to roll to the left side of the field other than his right side, I've noticed. Even though him being right-handed.
4-1.
Monett ready to receive the kickoff from Hollister. 4:01 remaining in the third quarter.
Do you remember who kicked the extra point? See, can't read the numbers over here to know what's what. It's all right if you don't.
Yeah, it does not say on the roster. I think it was Alex Mendez who's the kicker.
Catch the ball.
A short kick caught around the...
Sorry. Sorry about coaching here, but the Cubs were making the same mistake that Hollister made earlier and let the ball hit the ground and almost lost it, but didn't.
Luckily, it went out of bounds.
Yes, it went out of bounds, so it's still the Cubs' possession. But that was almost a Bolivar a turnover from the Cubs because the Cubs did not catch the ball in the air on the kickoff, and you have to catch the ball.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of Monett. 3:54 remaining in the third quarter. 2 wide receivers out, 1 back in the backfield. Umfleet under center. Takes the ball, handoff the middle, and he is stuffed about immediately. A gain of 2 on the play.
I believe that's Drew Gwynn again.
Drew Gwynn on the carry. Oh, there's an injured Cub on the play. Number 67.
And that is
Ray
Villalta. They're all state linemen.
Oh, it looks like it's his knee.
It may just be a cramp, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope it's a cramp. Looks like from the way they are treating it, I believe he has a cramp. And that's painful and it's not good, but it's a lot better than a more permanent type injury. And we need Ray both on offense and defense.
Athletic trainers are out on the field with him right now, messing with his leg.
Right. The teams have gone to their sidelines to wait the outcome of the treatment here. I suppose both teams enjoy a little break from the action there, as hot as it is. And a chance to get a sip of something cool. .340 left in this third quarter. And there's a definite change in momentum in the game. The Cubs need to turn that around.
That they do.
Gets very quiet in here when something like this happens, doesn't it?
Ray's still out on the field on his back. Trainer's still messing with his foot, leg. We will come back to you after this quick commercial break. Welcome back to Hollister. Ray Vialta walking off the field on his own, which is a good sign for the Monett Cubs. Now this place is getting as noisy as there has been. Umfleet under center, one running back in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out. Umfleet under center. Pitch off to number 3, Hugo Avila. A solid K. Woo! About gain of 17 on the play from Hugo Avila.
Tackle made by number 88, Lane Ruck.
Fine, excellent run by Hugo Avila.
Monett Cubs do get the first down.
Forgot that I put that up. Had a cough, so I had to put it up. Hugo Avila with a really fine run gives the Cubs a spark here that they needed. Gets a first down out to midfield.
That first down is brought to you by Crown and Power Equipment, north of Monett Highway. Check out our new website at crown-power.com. Umfleet under center, quick handoff, but it's quarterback keeper, gain of about, he's fighting for it, gain of about 8 yards on the play. Fake handoff to Gwynn, which the defense fell for it, and then Umfleet kept the ball.
Ethan hardly ever comes down with the first contact. He's looking a little gimpy, I think, as he comes back on the field, but he's all right, I believe. But he gained at least 4 yards after contact that time.
Yes, he
Just driving the pile back.
2nd and 3 on the play, ball on the 43-yard line of the Hollister Tigers. With 2:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Umfleet under center, one running back in the backfield. Quick handoff to Gwynn, and he is tripped up, but
Got the first.
he got the first down. That first down is brought to you by Crown and Power Equipment, north of Monett on H Highway. You'll find the best deals on new and pre-owned equipment at Crown Power.
First and 10 for the Cubs now from the Tigers' 37-yard line. So the Cubs have a drive going.
Their 2nd first down in this series. Umfleet under center, one running back in the backfield, one wide receiver out. Quick handoff to Gwynn, but he is stuffed immediately at the line of scrimmage by the Hollister defense.
He was hit as soon as he touched the football. There was nowhere to go, nowhere to fall to, but backwards. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Cubs.
Ball on the 37-yard line. Monett Cubs approaching the line of scrimmage after breaking the huddle. Umfleet under center, one running back, one wide receiver out. Handoff to Gwynn. He is stuffed immediately. The ball is loose, but it looks like, I don't know who recovered the ball.
Cubs ball, I believe. But a terrific defensive play by the Tiger defensive lineman.
Who's the one that, did you see who was the one who got him?
No, I didn't.
I think it was number 61, and that would be Danny Gimlin with the tackle for the loss.
I was too concerned with who was going to recover that fumble. There was a flag, but they picked it up and waved it off. So it's going to be 3rd down for the Cubs.
Looks like 3rd and 17.
And about 17 to go. You're right.
Crowd stomping their feet. Big play right here. Umfleet under center. Takes the ball. Quick pass. Ball caught, but he is brought down around the 24-yard line.
Excellent,
34-yard line.
excellent pass and catch. I believe is that number 3? who is Hugo Avila on the catch. A gain of about 10, but it brings up 4th and 8. Actually, a gain of 9 on the play, I guess. 4th and 8 for the Cubs, with the ball resting at the Tigers' 35-yard line. So it looks like the Cubs are going to go for it. A kick would probably go into the end zone and net very little yardage.
Umfleet under center, one running back, two wide receivers out. He's looking to pass, throws it way off. The intended receiver was number 7, Arnold Cavazos, but he was about 10 yards off.
A lack of communication there. The receiver went in, and Ethan Umfleet thought he was going to go out, so the pass was 10 yards from anybody, as it turned out. Good defensive stand by the Tigers, and they have momentum now as they take over the ball with 55 seconds left in this third quarter, trailing 12-7, but 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their own 35.
Let's see if Hollister can carry on what they had from the last offensive possession, where the running game and the passing game was clicking on both ends, on both sides.
First down and 10 at 35-yard line.
Morgan in the backfield with Cody Johnson to his left-hand side. Cody Johnson, the ball carrier. Split up the middle, about a gain of 3 on the play.
Number 10.
Brought down by number 17, Tanner Wright.
Gain of 4 on the play. Second down and 6 coming up.
Good forward drive by that back that time. He picked up a couple more yards than he should have, actually. Cubs hit him, but he had good drive and picked up 4. 2nd and 6.
20 seconds remaining on the third quarter clock for the Hollister Tigers. Morgan in the backfield with guard to his right. Guard the ball carrier. Almost stripped, but he hang on to the ball, but about a gain of 2 or 3 on the play.
Couldn't see who made that initial contact, but you're right. It looked like they were trying to strip the ball, but the ball carrier spun away from it and then was tackled for about a 2-yard gain. Is going to bring up 3rd and 3 when we start this fourth quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with the score Monett 12, Hollister 7.
We'll be back with you after this quick commercial break.
Hollister Tigers, 7. Special thanks to our Tiger Field sponsors, Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Turkey Creek Express, Track Materials, Tri-Lakes Dental Center, Schultz Surveying and Engineering, Cox Health, Tom Boyce Excavating, Branson Airport, Branson Family Dentistry.
Welcome back to Hollister as the Monett Cubs are on top 12-7 going into the fourth quarter of play. Tonight's fourth quarter is sponsored by Home Shield and Pest Control, providing a safe defense from pests in your home or businesses. Home Shield Pest Control is your quality, affordable pest service.
We're going to have a real test of the Cubs' mettle here going into this fourth quarter. Hollister has momentum. The Cubs are hurting. They have a couple of their key players not in the game because of injuries, and going to see if they can rise to the occasion.
The Hollister bench hyping up the crowd right now. And here we are about to start the fourth quarter. Morgan,
I believe the Cubs are going to call timeout. I don't think they were ready for that formation they were seeing.
Cubs use their first timeout of the half.
The Tigers had put trip receivers out wide to the right, and the Cubs only had 2 defenders really there. They really weren't prepared for it. That's why Coach called timeout.
This game is brought to you by Quick Draw Gun, featuring one of the area's largest selection of guns, ammo, and reloading supplies. Located at 601 Kyler in Monett, your hometown gun store. All right, Monett coming back out after that quick timeout. getting resituated with the play.
Third and about 4 for the Tigers. This is a really key down for the Cubs. If they can hold them here and make them punt the football, that would really help.
Looks like it's not the usual Morgan in the backfield, but it's number 28, Devin Gerard. It looks like he kept 20, I mean. But he is brought down, but
And he
got
has the first,
he
yes.
has the first down. Number 20 was Connor Hatfield on the carry. Looked like it was a wildcat formation.
Number 27 for the Cubs. That is Matthew Ball. He was protesting that he was held, but the official obviously didn't see it. He was trying to show the officials how he had been grabbed. But effective play for the Tigers, 1st and 10 from their own 46.
Number 10, the ball carrier. Cody Johnson, gain of about 6 or 7 on the play.
I'm waiting to see the number. Number 17 for the Cubs. Tanner Wright on the stop. A good tackle there, because it looked like the ball carrier had hit a considerable hole, and Tanner made a good tackle to hold him to 4 yards. 2nd and 6.
Morgan back in the shotgun formation. 2 backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers out. Takes the ball, hands off to number 17, Blake Russell. And he is stuffed immediately, but he picked up about 3 yards on the play.
Handoff to number 17, Blake Russell.
Did you see who he was brought down by?
Cole Davis was in on the stop, and I couldn't see the number of the other, but Cole was one of the 2 tacklers. Going to bring up 3rd and a long 3 or a short 4 for the Tigers.
Ball on the 47-yard line of the Monett Cubs. Morgan under center, 2 running backs back. Pitch to Blake Russell. He has room, he has blocks, but he is brought down around the 33-yard line. He is having himself a second half.
Terrific play by the Tigers. They had blockers out in front, and their blockers did a good job, and the Cubs just got beat badly. But again, remember, Alex Salas is not there at the end, and Ray Villalta is not out there at tackle. Or is he back out there now? I'm not sure. I don't think he is. They're missing some of their key defensive linemen up front, and all of a sudden, the Hollister Tigers are finding some good things on the ground.
1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Morgan drops back to pass.
Pick it.
Uh-oh.
6.
Touchdown. A 34-yard touchdown pass completed to Cody Johnson.
Tremendous pass and catch by the Tigers. Number 20, Cody Johnson on the reception. 34-yard pass. What's number 20's name again? My numbers are not here.
Connor Hatfield. It was number 10 caught the touchdown. Cody Johnson.
Okay, Cody Johnson.
Alec Mendez for the kick. It is blocked. The extra point attempt is blocked. But there is an injured Tiger on the field. Number 6, that is Leighton Morgan. He is injured on the play. He is rolling around around the 15-yard line. This does not look good. He looks like he's in a lot of pain.
And who threw the pass to Cody Johnson?
Leighton Morgan.
Okay, it was their regular quarterback.
Yeah, and he is on the ground right now. Trainers are out with him.
And I was writing, was the kick no good or blocked?
It was blocked.
It was blocked.
Morgan appears to be in a lot of pain right now. This does not look good for the Hollister Tigers. He's up on it. He is up, but he needs assistance. Oh, he has to be carried off the field. One of the coaches picked him up on his shoulder and is carrying him like a wounded soldier. That is something I have never seen before.
You know, I don't know that I've seen it either. I've seen two players sort of pick them up on each side and carry them
Yeah.
off, but
Never just throw him over
just
his shoulder.
feed sack carry is what you call that.
Yeah.
To a farmer, that's where you carry a sack of feed. Well, I hope that he's all right.
He's being brought over down to the sports table. That is, again, Leighton Morgan, the quarterback for the Hollister Tigers. So the score is 13-12 Hollister after that 34-yard touchdown pass completed from Leighton Morgan.
So the Cubs' 12-point lead at halftime has fizzled, and the Tigers have come back, taken the lead. Let's see if the Cubs can respond. I hope they don't let the kickoff hit the ground again.
Alec Mendez with the kickoff. Number 49 for the Hollister Tigers. Kick is up and is a short kick. Oh, it's whistled. There's whistles on the play. Well, that is the call. Oh, they're going to redo the kick, it looks like. Oh, flag on the play. Holding on the Hollister Tigers. But what does that mean?
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So they're now going back an extra 5 yards. They're now kicking off from the 35-yard line.
I don't think it was holding. I think it was probably offsides. A holding penalty would not be 5 yards. And I don't know who they could have held because they blew the whistle right as the kick went off, basically.
Alec with the kick. Short kick again. Just catch it, called for a fair catch.
Good job.
Smart choice. Caught around the 35-yard line for the Monett Cubs. 9:42 remaining in the game in this fourth quarter. This fourth quarter is all brought to you by Home Shield Pest Control, providing a safe defense from pests in your home or business. Home Shield Pest Control is your quality, affordable pest service.
9:42 left in this ball game. The Cubs have the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 35, needing to go score. They don't need it all at one time, though. They can grind it out.
They have time. Umfleet under center. One running back in the backfield in a 4-point stance. Hands off to, looks like Jen. About game of 5 on the play. 88 with the tackle for Hollister. That is Lane Bruck, a 6-foot senior.
Gain of 5 on the play. Good gain on 1st down. 2nd and 5 for the Cubs.
This is a big possession here for both squads. Umfleet under center. Takes it, hands off. No quarterback keep, but he is brought down in the backfield.
They are laying for Umfleet. They scouted the Cubs or knew that, that should have drawn the defense to the man he faked to, but it didn't. They were sitting out there waiting for him. A loss on the play of a yard, 3rd and 6 for the Cubs.
Lane Bruck with the tackle yet again for the backfield.
on Ethan Umfleet. Ball on the 39-yard line for the Monett Cubs. Crowd getting into it here at Hollister. Ethan under center, one running back in the backfield. Sweep motion. This has, and he is brought down. Number 20, Rylan Newell.
Good tackle by number 22 on number 22. It was Connor Pointer running for the Cubs, and number 22 for the Tigers made a sure tackle, brings up 4th and 4, and a punting situation for the Cubs.
That was a good defensive stop by the Hollister Tigers. Umfleet back to kick. The kick is up. It was almost blocked. Good kick, though. Just rolling around to about the 16-yard line.
18, I believe.
18.
Yeah.
Solid kick from about the opposite 30-yard line.
Very effective kick. Cubs' kicks haven't been too pretty, but they've been very effective, their punts. And now the burden goes to the defense. The offense couldn't move the ball. See if the defense can stop the Tigers. The last couple possessions, the Tigers have looked unstoppable.
Looks like officials timeout on the play.
But I think it's a water break timeout
Yeah.
because of the heat.
Leighton Morgan is still on the athletic trainer's bench, so we're going to have to see who their new quarterback is with 7:30 left in the fourth quarter. It's been all Hollister Tigers in this second half.
It really has. They've snatched the momentum and see if they can keep it going.
Hollister running back out to the play. Same with Monett. Trying to see who their new quarterback is. Looks like it is number 10, Cody Johnson. Oh, number 15, I stand correct. Luke Kalovich. Deep throw off the first rip to number 20, Connor Hatfield, but he overthrew him by 3-4 yards.
Number 27 for the Cubs. Matthew Ball was there on the defense. Not really close to an interception, but there's always that danger there if that receiver gets behind your defender. And the quarterback just took 2 steps back and threw the ball. He didn't hang on to it to give the Cub rush a chance to get to him.
Number 15, Luke Kalovich. Handoff to number 30, is at guard. Gain of about 2 on the play.
Cole Davis and Ethan Umfleet on the stop, along with Tanner Wright. Going to bring up 3rd and 8 for the Tigers. Big play here for the Cubs.
37.
They need to force a punt.
Kalovich in the shotgun formation. Drops back, looking for receiver. It's intercepted
And
by
it's
the Monett Cubs.
going to be returned for a touchdown.
That is a pick 6.
I believe that's Ethan Umfleet. Not sure, but I think that's who it is.
That was actually Arnold Cavazos with the interception. Kalovich overthrew his intended receiver. and Cavazos was there to pick it off and bring it back for a 24-yard pick six. And just like that, Monett's back on top again with 6:23 left.
About a 35-yard return.
Timeout on the play for the Monett Cubs. That is their second timeout of the half with one remaining with 6:23
Are you sure
left.
that that was Arnold Cavazos? I don't believe it was, but I couldn't tell. Drew Gwynn?
You are correct. Monett Cubs take a demanding 7-point lead going in, or not going in, with 6:23 left remaining in the fourth quarter. When it looked like it was all Hollister, Monett Cubs defense got a pick six and changed the tides of the game.
(20-13). That sounds better than 12-13.
Yes, it does. That touchdown was brought to you by the law offices of Randall, Massery, and Randall. If you need an extra point or two from a trusted lawyer, call Randall, Massery, and Randall at 235-8688, serving the Lawrence, Berry, and Stone County region. And this kickoff is brought to you by the Missouri Farm Bureau Lance Metlock agent. I am from Missouri, and I am for the Monett Cubs and all farmers and families in the Monett Cubs Nation. For more information, call 417-236-0422.
Ethan Umfleet to kick off again. See if he kicks it deep. He does.
Solid kick, caught around the 20-yard line. Uh-oh. Solid, very solid return by number 17, Blake Russell. About a 22-yard, 25-yard return.
And a very sure tackle by number 4, Devin Madrid. First and 10 for the Tigers from their own 38.
Leighton Morgan is returning to the game after previously being injured earlier in the quarter, which is a good sign for the Hollister Tigers. He's under center with 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver out. Hands off to guard. Solid run. Pickup of about 11 or 12 on the play.
Good blocking by the Tigers. And a good tackle there, touchdown saving tackle for the Cubs. And I swear I can't read the number.
Morgan still hobbling around, but he's making do.
A scary looking play. That almost broke.
Morgan under center, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers out on the left side. Handoff to number 10, Cody Johnson. Another gain of 10. Cody Johnson's ball carrier.
Ray Villalta on the stop, but a gain again of 10, and all of a sudden Hollister's running through the Cubs defense like it's not there. Cubs linemen look like they are tired. They've got hands on their hips, and they're not getting much penetration. That's making it easier for the Tigers.
Quick handoff to guard. Another big gain of about 8 yards on the play.
And it took about 4 Cubs to get him down. He's running with a lot of authority. A gain of 7 looks like, about 6 to 7 on the play.
2nd and 3 on the play, ball on the 35-yard line. Tigers approaching the line of scrimmage. Morgan under center. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers out to the right side. Takes the ball, hands off to guard. Up the middle, and he is stuffed immediately by the Monett Cubs defensive line. Number 56 was one that initiated the contact. That is Harrison Merriman.
Still a gain of a couple on the play. Brings up 3rd and 1 for the Tigers. Cubs' defensive line is not getting any penetration into the Hollister backfield as they were earlier in the game. They're tired. Of course, most of those linemen are playing both ways, you know.
4:15 remaining on the clock in the 4th quarter battle. Morgan under center, 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver out. Pitch to guard. Picks it up enough for a first down, but he was brought down around the 28-yard line.
Devin Madrid on the stop for the Cubs. But a 1st and 10 for the Tigers with the ball now resting at the Cubs' 29-yard line.
Morgan hobbling back to the huddle. Breaks the huddle, approaching the line of scrimmage, under center. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers out on the left side of the field. Morgan takes the ball, hands off to number 10. Is that Cody Johnson? Hands off to Cody Johnson. Gain of about 4 or 5 on the play.
Devin Madrid on the stop for the Cubs. 2nd and 5 for the Tigers.
Ball on the 24-yard line.
Yeah, the Cubs just look like they are worn out. I don't see much fire out there at all. They need to get fired up and stop this drive.
Madrid under. No.
Oh, that was almost what they needed. He slipped away, almost had the ball carrier for a loss, but he slipped away and got back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a yard still. Good defensive penetration that time for the Cubs.
That's what they needed.
Right. Brings up 3rd and
6. Blake Russell was the ball carrier, and he was tackled for a loss for 1. Morgan under center, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers out. Quick pitch to Russell, and he is brought down, but there is a flag. I think that is going to be on Monett.
good defensive play, except I don't know if they're going to call a face mask or a horse collar, but they're going to call an illegal tackle there on the Cubs. They call him a face mask. Okay, I couldn't tell whether he got the back of his pads or whether he got the face mask, but they call it a face mask. Big penalty on the Cubs, put them deep in a hole, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. From around the 10-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot it at about the 14 or 13 or 14. 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 14 of the Cubs.
2:28 remaining in the game. Morgan Lane under center, 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 wide receiver out to the right side. Hand off to Blake Russell. Breaks the line, but he's brought down about a gain of 3 or 4 on the play.
Devin Madrid again on the stop for the Cubs.
He's been all over the place.
He has. Lately, he's been in on just about every tackle. Gain of a couple, 2nd and 8.
Second and 7 on the play, ball on the 11-yard line of the Monett Cubs. Morgan Layton under center. Layton Morgan under center. 2 running backs in the backfield. Quick pass, way short. Underthrew his receiver. Hit the ground before it even reached to him. Xavier Stivall was the intended receiver on the play.
It's going to bring up 3rd down for the Tigers. I guess that was a forward pass. They ruled it. He threw it so quickly it could have almost been a backward pass. Then it would have meant that it would have been a possibility for the Cubs to get possession of it. And when I used to coach, I had a play like that that we intentionally bounced it out to a guy, and he picked it up and threw a pass because it was a lateral. And we intentionally threw it on the ground. So I don't think that was that play.
Morgan in the shotgun drops back to pass. He's caught, and it is tipped off Monett Club's defender. Incomplete pass.
Good defense there by, if he'll turn so I can see his number. I still can't see the Cub number, but great defense there. And he's acting like he's hurt a little bit.
That looks like it's Umfleet.
I believe it's Umfleet, yes. And he's stretching his thigh like he's trying to cramp up a little bit.
4th and 7 on the play, ball on the 11-yard line. This could be the game right here. 1:41 remaining in the game. 4th and 7. Morgan in the backfield. 2 running backs out, 3 wide receivers out. Takes the ball. He is pressured. Ball is caught by 20, and he is brought down. The ball was fumbled, but it was recovered by number 3, Xavier Saval, and is brought in for a touchdown.
They may call that a forward lateral. We're going to wait and see.
Because he wasn't completely on the ground yet, so that could be a forward lateral. From a player being carried like a sack of potatoes to that's something I would never seen before. Oh, it was ruled
It's
a forward pass. He was ruled down on the play. Heartbreaker for the Hollister Tigers.
yes. I wondered about it at the time, the way it happened. We can't tell whether it was forward or right. If it had not been forward, I think it would have been a valid play. But as it was, the ball carrier, I don't think he intentionally did that, but he may have.
Hollister does have all 3 timeouts remaining for the half, so they will probably use them accordingly in this last minute 38 seconds. Ball on the 9-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Monett Cubs.
Ethan Umfleet kept the ball up the middle far. Hollister calls a timeout, but a gain of about 7 on the play. 2nd and 3 for the Cubs.
With a minute 32 remaining.
Due to social distance requirements, no fans will be allowed on the field after the game.
Wow. What a game. A lot of
things I
a lot
didn't think
of
I'd see.
turns.
I don't know if you had a good angle of what just happened, but it looked like he fumbled and then went right into the hands of
It really did,
Xavier
but
Saval.
he may have
down
pitched
already.
it too.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't down, I don't think. I don't believe they ruled him down, but that could have been. His knee might have been down. But it looked like he was not down and looked like the ball was just knocked out and the other kid caught it and took it in. But the ball carrier might have realized he didn't have the first, and he might have kind of pitched it to the guy too, which would be an illegal forward pass.
2nd and 4 on the play, ball on the 15-yard line of the Monett Cubs. Cubs are up 20-13 with a minute 32 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Nothing like high school football
Nothing
for
like it.
excitement.
Never know what's going to happen. 2 wide receivers out, 1 on each side. Umfleet under center, 1 running back in the backfield. Umfleet takes the ball. Oh, it was offsides. It looked like it was for Monett.
Everybody moved, but the center
And
didn't
Umfleet-
snap the ball.
Yep.
Yeah. There were at least 7 people in motion when the ball was snapped.
It was on Monett. That is their 5th penalty of the night. 2nd and 9 on the play. Ball on the 11-yard line.
They were in position to pick up a first down where they were, and now all of a sudden it's very doubtful. I have a feeling Umfleet's going to keep the ball every time.
Yeah. Just keep the clock running. Oh, is that timeout on the play?
I think the Cubs called this timeout.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cubs use their final timeout.
Since the clock was stopped anyway.
Score is 20-13 with a minute 31 remaining in the 4th quarter here in Hollister, Missouri. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
They said it was Lynch.
What's that?
They said Lynch at that second.
Okay.
Pick six. I was relatively certain it wasn't Cavazos, but it was Lynch again, they said. So that's two for him.
Penalty on the play.
Against Monett again. Boy, they're digging a hole.
False start on the play.
Welcome back to Hollister. Monett is up 20 to 13 with a minute 28 remaining in the fourth quarter. There was a penalty on the play, and it looked like it was on Monett again, which brings up a 2nd and 13 with the ball on the 6-yard line. I think it was another offside penalty. That is their 6th penalty of the night.
They're picking a bad time to make mistakes all of a
Yes,
sudden.
they are.
Digging themselves into a deep hole. But
It's giving
just
Hollister a little bit of hope.
1:28 left. It's just second down. They can still run off some more clock if they'll quit these penalties.
They were about to pick up a first down, and then they
Yeah,
started
look.
having 2 wide receivers out. Umfleet under center. Umfleet quarterback sneak, and he is off to the races. He's brought down around the 40-yard line, and that could be game. Umfleet with about a 40-yard run on the play, just broke through the defensive line, and nobody stopped him.
Wow. Big, big play for the Cubs. This should enable them to run out the clock for sure. I figured Umfleet would keep the ball.
Yeah.
He's the surest one over there, the best runner, and no sense taking a chance on a fumble. So
Hollister not using any timeouts left. About a minute 15 remaining on the time clock. Umfleet under center, 2 wide receivers out, 1 running back in the backfield.
again, I don't think there will be a hand. Well, they're going to go into a victory deal, and he's just going to take it and kneel down.
Yep.
Good.
And timeout Hollister using their first timeout of the half. I thought they already used one.
I'm pretty sure they've used one.
So I think they should have one remaining. I think the scoreboard is wrong.
Yeah, I'm relatively certain they called one down.
2nd and 10 on the play, ball on the 42-yard line. 58 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Monett is up 20 to 13. This has been a game of ups and downs, that's for sure.
It sure has.
All Monett first half, all third quarter Carthage. Not Carthage, Hollister.
They look like Carthage.
Same
Carthage
colors.
wears blue and white like that.
The same mascot.
That's right. I bet Carthage had a romp tonight. I think they played Willard. And Willard's not all that bad, but Carthage is state champions,
yeah,
and
Carthage.
they have most of their people back. This may be the year they knock off Joplin and Webb City. That's the only 2 games they lost last year and won the state championship. Maybe they'll get those 2 this year.
Umfleet under center again. Looks like he's about to take a knee again. Yep, takes a knee.
And Hollister calls timeout again.
That should be their last timeout.
Yes, that should be their last. Well, guys, it's not over yet. Oh, I guess the clocks should be running.
Oh, I think they're shaking hands.
They're shaking hands, but I thought the Cubs were going to have to snap it one more time.
Well, it looks like They're just going to let the clock run out.
Well, they've got 2 more downs to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now they can shake hands.
That looks like it's a game. Final score for tonight's varsity matchup from Hollister and Monett. Monett 20, Hollister 13. We will see you next week when Monett faces Aurora High School at Monett at 7 o'clock.
Well, we won't sign off yet, though,
Yeah,
because
not yet. Not yet.
Coach may come up, and I want to go through the scoring again for the game. Do we still have it, or did you send it back to the
still have
site? Okay. Quite a experience here for the first game for the Cubs. We talked about before the game, they had a bunch of young, inexperienced players, and they got some experience here tonight. Got a couple lucky breaks early in the game and scored, the Cubs did. But then Hollister showed a lot of character and came back and took the lead. But the Cubs again showed character and got the lead back and held it. So
2 pick sixes often help a team win.
I don't remember ever seeing the Cubs having 2 pick sixes in one game. Maybe one and more than one interception, but I don't remember ever in my broadcasting days with them having 2 interceptions for a touchdown, and especially by the same person.
Both teams were turnover happy, each having 3. Monett having 2 fumbles and 1 interception, and then Hollister having 3 interceptions on the day. The score of any contest is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and fans may leave lasting impressions. Next time you attend a high school game, think how you will be remembered. Be sure to choose good sportsmanship. The message is brought to you by Access Family Care, providing high-quality medical and general dentistry care throughout Southwest Missouri. When we come back, we'll have the player of the game and the coach you'll show. Thank you. We'll be back after this short commercial break.
Who do you vote for player of the game? Dylan Lynch or Ethan Umfleet?
Does it have to be for Monett?
Huh?
Does it have to be for Monett?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
but
Lynch had a pick
one
six.
of those 2. Lynch had 2 pick sixes.
Yeah. He had both of them?
Yes.
I would say Lynch, yeah.
It's got to be him or Umfleet. Umfleet did everything too.
Yeah.
He punted and made that big run there at the crucial time to get him
Yeah.
out of the hole. Or do we want to go with co-players of the game? Umfleet and Lynch.
You want to do that?
Let's do that.
All right.
I think they're both deserving.
They both had very good games. You ready to come back?
Whatever you want.
All right.
And I'll go through the scoring again for the game.
All right. Welcome back to the post-game show here in Hollister, Missouri. Monett came out victorious 20-13 over the Hollister Tigers. Tonight's player of the game is sponsored by Crowder College in Neosho, Missouri. With over 50 years of successful graduates, Crowder College is committed to academic excellence. Crowder College, where you are the difference. And Leonard, who is tonight's players of the game?
Well, as we discussed, Ethan Umfleet did everything from punting to kicking and making big runs, and so he has to be considered. But Dylan Lynch had 2 pick sixes, 2 interceptions for touchdowns. As I was telling you, I don't think I've ever seen that from a Monett team before in all my years of, 2 of them for touchdowns, maybe 1 for a touchdown, and maybe the same player having 2 interceptions in a game, but not 2 for touchdowns. So we decided we're going to go with co-players of the game with Dylan Lynch for his 2 touchdowns off of interceptions, and Ethan Umfleet for his overall just tremendous game. He was also good on defense too. We're going to have some tired young men tonight after this game because we had a lot of players go both ways, and like Ethan, he was on the field almost all the time. He didn't even get to rest during the kickoff or
No, he
anything.
did not.
So a very satisfying win for the Cubs. They certainly showed that they have a lot to work on and a lot of weaknesses, especially in depth when they got a couple of their dependable players hurt. Alex Salas particularly for most of the game, and then Ray Vialta was out for a while, but Ray did come back later on. So I think the Cubs' lack of depth really showed there, and their linemen got so tired, and they really didn't have anybody else to go to because it was obvious in this fourth quarter that their defensive line was just gassed and out of gas. So
They stepped up when they needed to.
they got the victory, and that's what really counts. I'll go through recap the scoring again for the game. The first quarter was rather dull. Neither team was able to do very much, and neither team scored. So the first quarter score was 0-0. Finally, in the second quarter, Dylan Lynch stepped in front of a pass out in would have been the offense's right flats, and with his momentum going toward the goal line, no one even got close to catching him. He returned it 73 yards for a touchdown. And the kick after a high snap was blocked. So the Cubs led 6-0 with 5:18 left in the second quarter. Again in the second quarter, after the Cubs had mounted a drive, I think they got don't recall for sure, but I believe they had a fumble recovery that set them up in pretty good field position. And Ethan Umfleet then scored on a 1-yard quarterback sneak and putting the Cubs up 12-0. The Cubs went for a 2-point conversion, but a pass attempt failed, leaving them up 12-0, and that's the way the half ended with Cubs 12, Tigers 0. The Tigers grasped the momentum in the third quarter. All of a sudden, they started running with authority, but their running set up passing. Leighton Morgan received an 18-yard pass from Blake Russell for their first touchdown, and Alec Mendez kicked the extra point, and that made the score Monett 12, Hollister 7, with still 4:01 left in the third quarter. And that's the way the third quarter ended, with Monett 12, Hollister 7. Early in the fourth quarter, with 9:45 left, Cody Johnson received a 34-yard pass from Leighton Morgan, and this time the kick was blocked, but Hollister took that 13-12 lead since they had made one extra point and the Cubs had missed both. And at that point, it looked rather scary. The Cubs couldn't move the ball, but a good kick, punt from Ethan Umfleet pinned the Tigers fairly deep in their territory. And on one of the early downs, their quarterback threw a pass out in the right flat again. And we couldn't see for sure just what happened, but Dylan Lynch came up with the ball and returned it again for a touchdown. So 2 pick sixes for Dylan Lynch. This time it was about a 35-yard interception return. And this time Drew Gwynn ran the 2-point conversion. That made the score 20-13, and that's the way the game ended. The Tigers got the ball back, drove down inside the Cub 20, but on 4th and long, they didn't quite pick up the yardage needed, and it looked like their ball carrier was hit and fumbled the ball forward to this other Hollister player who caught it, took it into the end zone for what looked like would have been Hollister's maybe winning touchdown. But the officials ruled that either that the ball carrier was down or that it was a forward lateral, which is illegal, and the Cubs took over possession and managed to run out the clock and hang on to their 20-13 final score. So great victory for the Cubs, but again, they showed a lot that they have to work on this next week before they entertain the Hound Dogs next Friday night at Burrow Fowler Stadium.
There's a lot of football season left, so they have room to improve on that stuff.
True. You have to start somewhere. And, Hollister can't be too disappointed. They showed some good things too.
I was really impressed by their quarterback, Morgan Layton. He was able to run the ball and pass the ball with pretty good efficiency.
And who knows, if he hadn't gotten hurt there, they might have been able to come back because that last interception was off of a different quarterback who had not been in the game.
Correct.
I see that Coach Ewell is on his way up, so we will have the interview. Do you want to do that? Benji usually interviews him, or do you want me to interview him?
I could do it.
Okay. I usually give him my headset when he comes up, so be thinking of things to ask him then. You just get him started usually, and he keeps going.
I wrote down something. I just got to find it real quick. There we go. All right. And Coach Ewell's making his way up here.
You don't need that mask with us. We trust you. And it's hard to talk through those things. Congratulations. Yeah. Lucky.
So, hey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay. You got a lot to let to your dad.
Yes, sir.
And my sister had a crush on your dad, too, by the way. So.
Thank you for joining us, Coach Ewell. Congrats on the win. What did you see tonight from your squad?
Well, I mean, early, we had a couple injuries. Alex Solis went down, and then Drew Gwynn went down. So we were on our third string fullback there for a bit, and I thought, Stewart came in and did a good job. But really our defense carried us in the first half, and really the whole game. Dylan's pick, the first pick, was huge, because they had all the momentum, and really both picks were huge because both took the momentum back, and he scored on them. So I was jokingly saying that was our best offensive play tonight, was Dylan going the other way.
What are some things you can improve on for next week's matchup?
Well, we got a lot offensively. I mean, we had a lot of penalties, a lot of missed assignments that you probably wouldn't see just if you were watching the game. But we got a lot of new guys, and I think this is their first time, full speed, getting a look at it, on Friday night. So I really do think that we'll fix it. But the big thing is just mental errors, I'd say, offensively. Defensively, I don't know. I thought they played so well. I don't want to, I'm not going to critique them. They saved us tonight. Yeah, and I saw guys cramping and stuff. I was cramping in my stomach, so that's how humid it was tonight. And I think we're in good shape for a week one. We just need to build some depth. There's some younger guys I feel like that can help us out, and I think that as the season goes on, they will.
What impressed you the most tonight?
Honestly, Dylan Lynch. Going back to him, it's rare to get one pick for a touchdown in a game, and he got two. And he said he was seeing the ball real well, and offensively he is a weapon that we don't necessarily get to take advantage of him all the time. They played him deep. They knew we were going to try to throw him a fade, and really I thought our two guards, Harrison and Ray. I mean, they played both ways tonight and pretty much took every snap. I think Ray went out for a few snaps when he was cramping, and Meisner came in and subbed and did a good job. But to go both ways in the interior position like that, that's impressive to me.
Do you have any final comments for Cubs Nation tonight?
Oh, just that I think we're an exciting team. You didn't really get to see a ton offensively tonight from us. Give them credit. I thought they did a good job, and that's a senior-laden team, that brought back not just seniors but or juniors. They brought back sophomores and freshmen that played last year. So that's a good team, and they were physical up front. And we're lucky to get out of here with a win, but shows you the character of this team. And we got our home game next week. It's going to be our senior night, so hopefully people come out and support them for that. We moved it up like a lot of schools did, just because not knowing what's going to happen in the future. But I think we got a lot of exciting kids, and come out and watch us.
That was Coach Ewell. Be sure to catch Coach Ewell's show next Friday evening right here on 95.9 FM. Coach Ewell will sit down with KKBL's Sammy Clapper to discuss tonight's contest as well as preview the upcoming game. The Coach Ewell show can be heard on just ahead of our pregame show right here on KKBL. We'll be back right after the short commercial break. probably should have just ended it right there. During this season. Hopefully you enjoy listening to the games as much as we do bring them to you. Once again, our final score from the stadium was 20-13 Monett. For my broadcast partner Leonard Bauer and our producer Erwin Perez, this is Corby Finsky saying thanks for following the Cubs and good night from Hollister, Missouri.